Go. Good afternoon, viewers. So I'm back again, and this time around I'm back on my first episode. Now, my first episode is I've been talking about mental health. Now, today this is the official start of my mental health talk, and this is being episode 1. What do we understand by the word mental health? In my own understanding, and it may be a good definition of our mental health, I will define it in so many aspects. I would say this is the emotional well-being of a person, psychological state of a person, and ability to handle stress. So this is the definition of mental health. Are you in a good state that you can react and you can handle stressful situations? Are you emotionally fit to handle stressful situations? Psychologically, are you prepared to handle psychological or issues to do with mental health? Now, we have some of most common factors, or let's say mental health disorders. So today I selected one, which is the key. And this topic is quite wide. So being my first episode today, I'm going to talk about depression. So depression is going to be my first topic as one of the mental health disorders that we have in the society today. We look outside there, but everybody's stressed out. We just stress out. Stress is coming from all corners. But let's look at depression. Let's look at depression. And if we look at depression, we can really understand that what is actually depression all about. Depression, I can define it in my own way, like a mental health disorder that is characterized by sadness and certain loss of interest or pleasure in things that one used to love the most. I will break it down this way. You used to be one person who liked going out with your friends, but these days you don't, and you don't give an explanation as to why. You find yourself not going out with your friend. You love to go and do certain things. Maybe go out for a ride, just fuel your car and go for a long distance ride. There are people who get pleasure in that. But these days they don't. Or there are people who love sitting in the family, with the family down, and they're just storying, they're just cooking, they're just doing things. But this day, he or she is never there. Now, that is when now we talk about someone is showing some symptoms of depression. And at that time, we can say the mental health status of that person is already in question. So, what are some of the factors? What are some of the factors that causes depression? Or what are some the causes of depression? If we can actually look at it in some detail, we will realize that depression can be caused by a number of issues. There are biological factors, we have physiological factors, we have environmental factors, we have medical conditions. All these factors lead to depression. Now, I want you guys to look at one aspect as a cause of depression. And this is one aspect of biological factors. What are these biological factors that we're talking about? Are we talking about genetics? Are we talking about family depression in a way? Now, let's look at one factor under biological factors, which is genetic. We believe that a family, in a way, family history can be associated by depression in so many areas. And this can also increase the risk. If we go back and you try to look at your family lineage, were there people who suffered a bit of some depression back then? So that could be one major risk factor to a person who is now growing up right now. Again, there are things that we call brain chemistry. So brain chemistry deals with a lot. We have imbalances in such serotonin, for instance, and dopamine. These are some of the issues. These are some of the hormones that again can also affect our brain chemistry in some ways. Now, hormonal changes, which is something that is so common. Hormonal imbalances, particularly during puberty period, or pregnancy, or postpartum, or menopause, or thyroid problems. All these can lead to depression. I want to tell you one thing. Thyroid issues or thyroid imbalances comes with a lot of mood swings that one needs to deal with. And in most cases, the package that comes with thyroid disorders are so overwhelming. Even when we look at someone being told that, you're already in the menopause, the aspect of age is coming, and this person looks like, oh, I'm so old that I'm already at that stage. That alone will come with some part of stress, part of depression. This person can go into a situation whereby he starts showing some withdrawal syndrome and not able to sit with people the way they used to sit and socialize with people. These are problems that we live. We also have pregnancy. People say a pregnant woman is one person who doesn't have control of a lot of things that are happening with them. And I usually say those are hormonal changes that are happening in that person. And therefore, that person is never alone. There are so many things that happen and she's just never alone. So if she's not alone, then we realize that is caused by hormonal imbalance in that particular woman at that particular time. And therefore, there is a particular understanding that we need to give as men or as the people living with her in the house, so that at the end of the day, we understand that all these mood swings, all these behaviors are coming as a result of the pregnancy, and this is what is affecting her hormones. We are going to the second factor, which is psychological factors. Psychological factors, we have personal traits, such as, I will put it this way, what is your self-esteem as a person? You must be able to have a strong self-esteem. This is what defines who you are outside there. This is what makes you be in a position to interact and socialize with people when your self-esteem is high. That is how you value yourself. That is how you look at how high you are. And that is how you will definitely understand that if you have a self-high esteem, trust me, you can manage so many things. We also look at trauma and stress. Trauma can be as a result of something that strikes you at some point. And maybe you didn't go through a number of therapy to talk about it. And this exposed you to a lot of episodes that at some point you feel like you will have some shocks. Maybe you were abused when you were young, or maybe probably you have chronic stress, which can be as a result of maybe an infection you have. So all these are under psychological factors that can also be one cause of depression. We continue again and look at the environmental factors. When we are looking about the environmental factors, we are talking about things that now are beyond our control. Things that can just happen. Like we are talking about chronic illness. Conditions like cancer, this thing comes in. If you just go to a hospital and the doctor tells you, I'm going to run some tests. And after running this test, he comes and sits you down and tell you, my friend, your test result is reading this. And for instance, you are told you have cancer. It comes with a lot of stress. Infections like heart disease comes with a lot of stress. Infections like diabetes comes with a lot of stress. And infections like renal failure or kidney failure comes with a lot of stress. And some of these things, they drain people. They drain the patient themselves, they drain the family themselves, and before they know, they have put you into psychological stress, they have put you into financial stress, they have put you into emotional stress, and all this is leading you directly into depression. We also have the social isolation. The social isolation is whereby you lack a supportive social work. You can no longer associate with people because there is no social work that you can associate with that can really support you and motivate you. And you realize you're going down, and down after down, you continue until the depression crops in. And finally, we are looking at medical conditions as also a factor. And under medical conditions, I discuss things to do with heart diseases, I discuss things to do with diabetes, I discuss things to do with chronic pains, substance abuse. All this contributes to a number of reasons why someone can be depressed. Let us also look at a bit of early symptoms. How will you be able to tell that my son or my daughter or my husband or my wife is depressed? There are emotional symptoms. Emotional symptoms are things like, one, persistent sadness or low mood. This person is just sad and you are not able to tell. How is this person sad? What has caused this sudden sadness for no reason? Another one, feeling hopelessness, worthlessness, or guilt. You don't have any hope in life. Everything seems to be at the end, at the extreme end. There is no way you will feel there is hope. You are so worthless and you're so guilty of anything. Another is irritability or frustration. Even small matters, very simple matters, will just make you get so irritated. So a simple matter that you could have just handled turned out to be a very big thing. It is because you're already stressed out. Loss of interest or pleasure in activities that were once your favorite. That is also an early symptom. You used to do this, but you no longer do it. You used to love cooking chapatis. You no longer do. You no longer even want to taste it. You used to go out with your friends. You no longer want to do it. So those are emotional symptoms that when one's depict tells us that this person is already depressed. Let's look at cognitive symptoms. And you see, these are very, very, very difficult symptoms to check on a person. Because one, difficulty in concentrating, making decisions, or remembering a thing. You realize that you just had a conversation with someone. Trust me, auna any memory at all. You will not even realize that you had been talking to Henry and we talked about meeting tomorrow or we talked about having this discussion. You will not remember. It means your concentration is absolutely gone. You are no longer in a position to make wise decisions. So at the end of the day, when people look at you, you will never notice, but people around you can notice that this person is stressed. He can no longer remember that yesterday we met and we had a conversation. You can no longer. Pessimism. and negative thoughts. All you think about future is in a negative aspect. To you, there is nothing that actually come out that you can say in the next future, I would want to do this. To be positively mentored. You are not. You always look at the negative aspect of life. And that is one of the cognitive symptoms of a depressed person. The third is physical symptoms. When I talk about physical symptoms, I'm coming to talk about physical things that now people can see. For instance, one, change in your appetite and weight. Either you are losing or you are gaining weight. All of a sudden, you just become so thin. You go to the hospital, you are asked, are you sick? You cannot explain. The doctor runs most of the tests. They all become positive at the end of the day. All your tests are coming negative. But you look sick. You look so emaciated. You don't have appetite. You lose weight. But there is also the aspect of it when now they gain weight. Because some people, when they are stressed, they eat a lot. And when they eat a lot, they gain weight. They become overweight. Now they start struggling with that weight to reduce that weight. Sleep disturbance. You cannot sleep. You're seriously suffering from insomnia. And if not insomnia, you are oversleeping the entire day. The entire day you want to sleep. And you see, when you sleep the entire day, you become less productive. When you become less productive, the next day you will be more stressed than you were today because you actually achieved nothing. So this is going to be a continuation of your life until it reaches a point that now you are at the worst extent of it. You also have decreased energy or fatigue. Wewe uko tu mnyonge. Kila siku tu uko tu mnyonge. Either you are complaining about this, you are complaining about that, you are complaining about this. All that comes. Unexplained aches and pains. All the body pains, joints. You must say you have headache, your joints. And everything about your body, you're just complaining about pain. Those are some of the physical symptoms of depression. Let me look at behavioral symptoms. Behavioral symptoms are now things that people can see. How do you behave towards certain things? You will realize that one, you are withdrawal from the social activities and friends. Your friends no longer understand you. When they knock your door and say, hey, Buddha, VP, can we go out? You say, no, today I don't want to step out. I feel like I just want to be indoor. Of course, all of us has been there in one way or the other. But did we even know that we are a bit stressed and we were going down for depression? We didn't know. But somehow, we managed to get out of it. So at that point, do we really remember that when we were there, when we were in that state, were we able to say we were stressed? No. But somehow we managed to get out of it. And that is the best part of it. And maybe ni Buddha God tu, ni Mungu tu alikusaidia tu. You didn't go down and down and down until you are so depressed. Then we look at the other factors of neglecting responsibilities and personal care. My friend, you no longer become responsible. Not even to yourself. You can't even go to the washroom and clean yourself. You can't even change your clothes until you start stinging. People don't want to associate with you because you smell. People don't want to associate with you because you didn't even keep your hygiene proper. You don't. So you neglect everything. I can tell you guys, that is the worst state. That is the worst state. I wouldn't want us to reach to that level. We can get outside there and get help. Let us not get to that level. Then we also have increased alcohol or drugs. But hey, what was a manga like? Maze, have had a rough day. I just want to go and have fun with my friends, drink. It's okay. It's a way of relieving stress. But at the end of the day, let it not become a hobby. If it becomes a hobby or a way of relieving stress, then trust me, you're getting down into alcoholic, and before you know, you are definitely going to be depressed. So these are all factors that I've discussed with you guys today in my first episode of depression and mental health. The importance of early detection. I think if we try and detect these symptoms early, then we can effectively manage depression. Because seeking professional advice is the one key thing. Go for mental health talk. Go for mental health providers. Talk to them. Let them help you. Let them start having these therapies with you. Let them have talks with you that will make you believe and will make you accept your status at that moment. And from there, you get help. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is my first episode. I will stop there, but I'll come back again in episode 2, whereby we are going to discuss how do we offer treatment to the depressed people, or how do we manage depression. So this is going to form my second episode this week that I will also share with you in my YouTube channel. This is Henry Akello YouTube channel. I'll be able to share with you guys a link so that you can subscribe and listen. Sit back and listen, and let us all help people in the society. Let us all identify these symptoms that I've talked about. And are we able to say that I think this person is depressed? I think my daughter is depressed. I think my husband is depressed. I think my wife is depressed. So the next thing you do, seek for assistance. The best way to seek for assistance is look for these professional counselors outside there. Give us a call. My contacts will always be there. Give us a call. We are able to link you from where you are. We are able to link you to a psychologist outside there, and they are able to help you. They are able to take you step after step until you gain yourself, and you will be able to know, now I'm okay, I'm physically fit, I'm emotionally fit, I'm psychologically fit, and I'm ready to face what the world has for me. Until then, I'm your host, Henry Akello. Thank you for listening to me, and be blessed.